There we go. All right, we're here. Episode dos
Binding of Isaac with a DLC we've never seen before.
of Silver Screen Arcade. We have a title
That's
now.
So let me get my seat. Let's settle in.
Getting your IMAX theater seat.
Yeah, there we go.
Boy, the thing I'm looking at is really an IMAX screen, let me tell you. Binding of Isaac. I have a lot of things to say about this game. It's one of my top 5 games of all time.
How many hours do you have in it?
We don't have to talk about it. I actually get messages from people on Steam regarding the hours in 2 games. In this one and in Rivals of Aether.
Wait, people actually message you to figure out if you've really played the game that much?
I have 10,000 hours in Isaac. I know at least of one famous Isaac playing personality, Northern Lion, has about 3,000 hours into this game.
But is it actually 10,000?
No, I leave it on.
Yeah.
And that's why I get messages. So, equally, Rivals of Aether. I got like 8,000 or something? Who knows? Good game, though. I like it. And this is Repentance, the newest and supposedly last DLC for this game.
Released in March 20.
That
It was just released.
Yeah, it just came out last month.
Yeah, I have to
A
admit.
week ago.
When did I stop playing Isaac? I mean, I was on top of Isaac as soon as it was released. What was it, like 20?
I don't know.
12?
Because we're talking about the one that was built in the Flash engine.
Yeah.
That one was. There's so many iterations of this game now, and I'll tell you what. If I knew what was going on in this this Tainted Cane run, I'd tell you.
Yeah. This,
I got 10,000 hours in this game, but I have not played the DLC yet.
okay, so there was the base game. Then what was the first?
There's no way I'll be able. There's the Wrath of Lamb was one, but the biggest I guess rebirth was when they took the game, they built it in a new engine. Nicalis, the company, I guess most notably for bringing Cave Story to Steam and remastering the game for what they did. They were on top of it, rebuilt it with the pixelated look. People were really mad on the internet for about 5 minutes, and then they realized it was way better than the other one.
Yeah, the original was, it had that Flash flavored jankiness to it every now and then.
And it had its own artistic style. I think was the most change that
From
you saw.
What, from Flash to
From the Flash, there's a
Pixel?
lot of smooth lines.
Oh, well, yeah, well, that's obviously smooth lines are hard to do with pixels.
Hard to render. I'll tell you that. Don't get me started about anti-aliasing.
But yeah, that was a good move. Man, Macmillan's been nursing this project for a long time. Has there ever been a game that a developer just like honed in on for that long?
I was talking about this the other day about how with some of my nephews that games these days they're now institutions. Like League of Legends is now just it's a whole thing. It just gets updated. People always play it. It's always getting looked at. And that just wasn't a thing when I was small. A game came out.
And that was it.
People played it to the end. They found they found the Triforce, or maybe they didn't find the Triforce, but they found everything else in the game, and that was it. They didn't want anything else to do.
Well, it's kind of hard to, update cartridges.
We do have speedrunning to thank for the resurgence of a lot of classic games in popularity, at least. But
What are you talking about, like
all kinds of stuff.
you're just talking about like throwback games in terms of their design and mechanics and stuff?
Yeah, they're just getting
Like
spotlight.
Shovel Knight and stuff like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, I was not talking about contemporary examples. I was just talking about literal old retro games getting a new look.
Yeah, that's
Talking about Battletoads getting played and getting recognized by people. But anyway,
yeah, it's kind of. We have talked about that. How like if you want to be I don't want to say an informed gamer, but if you want to be a gamer who's actually getting the full gaming experience, you almost have to be like a historian now, because
just like
we've lost some stuff this time. I'm not going to be too curmudgeonly. I mean, I generally think that we're kind of like in a golden age, or maybe just coming out of a golden age of gaming, but
no, we're in a golden age.
you think we're still in the golden age?
Sure, it's just this medium has reached the levels of other, like music. Popular music is popular music. There's good things about it, there's bad things. If you really want to find nice stuff made from the heart, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
made with a vision.
But with video games now, there's so many developers. It's so much easier to make games now. We've made a game, for God's sake.
Yeah, man, if we can make a game, then any half-wit can do it.
That it's You got to find the good ones. And I tell you what, McMillan made a name for himself as a developer. That's for damn sure.
Oh well.
This game.
Yeah. Well, he had plenty of cred before Binding of Isaac.
Sure, but with a completely different genre, of course. We're talking about Meat Boy.
We're talking about Super Meat Boy, yeah.
Although Ed, of course, has his whole library of Flash games before he made it big. But anywho, this game, I suppose, could be pointed at as being responsible for. I love this new boss.
Oh, this guy's so funny. I like this dude.
They did so much more with this new update, by the way, than just adding stuff. A ton of twists on stuff and rebalancing. And, excuse me. Oh, I was going to say, though, I think roguelikes really kind of took a turn for popularity.
Oh, man.
Isaac and,
yeah. Well, see, yeah, that's... You think that would be...
the legacy
yeah,
of Isaac?
What is that? Is that what happens when you beat that guy? You just fly off?
I wanted to see what that item was, too. I hadn't seen that before.
Man. This
run's killing me.
Watching this run makes me want to...
We picked a great run. We picked this. It's not like I don't know why I'm complaining.
Oh, no, this is... I just wish I knew what was going on.
But yes, back when this popped, finally, I know there was a discussion on the internet for a while about roguelikes, roguelites, whether or not what this genre is.
I wonder if that discussion ever got settled. I feel like we need a new name for this type of game. Like, roguelike isn't doing it anymore. It's just... when it comes up, I mean, I know it's in our name too, but do you think that roguelike really communicates the high points of this genre, this looping gameplay style where progression is made over the course of runs instead of like in the middle of a run?
Sure. I think so.
I think they need a new name.
I mean, I don't mind either way, to be honest. And of course, nothing on the internet's ever settled. There's always someone yelling on Reddit about this being a roguelite.
Oh, you mean the internet wasn't able to come to an agreement?
No. Oh, get out of here. We don't want that. It's okay if it leaves. What am I listening to? Is it part of the track? That might be something new, or I just lost my mind. I actually don't play with this music, so it's my only excuse to not know the soundtrack. Of course, the original soundtrack, Baranowski. Awesome soundtrack. If I knew who worked on the Rebirth one, I would tell you, but I like it as well.
They didn't go back to the... No, wait, they got...
Danny's a busy man.
Yeah, that... I thought they had a... Who's the two-man group that they used to...
Two-man group?
Yeah, they had a two... Wasn't there a two-man group that did the instrumentation in the older Binding of Isaacs? And the Mugenics? I thought they were the guys who were going to do their Mugenics soundtrack, too.
Oh, I know who you're talking about with Mugenics now, but I do not believe...
Did they not have anything to do with Binding? I thought they did.
I think you're crazy.
Nah,
Granted,
man.
You don't have 10,000 hours in this game, but...
I don't, man.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
have
give you
a
a
tenth
pass.
of that.
You gotta get them poops in there. You gotta get them poops in there. You gotta get them concussion poops. Which I find myself saying from time to time.
Do you think this is McMillan's masterpiece? Or is it going to be Super Meat Boy?
I think it's... Honestly, that's a great question. I don't know. Because platforming is such a pure throwback, and I feel like it never dies, and it's such a... Games that have amazing mechanics, and they're so solid, like the engines that Tommy would make in Super Meat Boy, I think that's just going to stay good forever. And Isaac, now, where it is now, is such a polished thing now. So, I mean, this has just as much staying power, in my opinion.
So, yeah, there's your argument for games as like an ongoing artisanal effort.
Yeah, and it starts with modding too. And the modding community on this game is, as far as I know, I don't want to say stuff out of line, but I'm pretty sure it's way more active than Super Meat Boy.
That wouldn't shock me.
I think it's just more fun to make new items that interact with this world than it is to interact with the platforming world, obviously. So
why do you think it was this one then? Why was it? What is it about this game that is just... Is it because it's a roguelike? Is it because it brought the roguelike mechanical concepts to the floor? Do you think it's the artistic style? Do you think it's just McMillan's weight as a developer?
Some of his pedigree, but it's obviously a mix. Like popular games, again, like they're going to get big. I mean, Grand Theft Auto does, they barely have to put out a billboard, but when an indie game goes mega, you do have to start wondering what made this thing get so big, because this is obviously not something Nintendo's cranking out.
No.
This isn't...
No, I don't think so.
Of course, these days, I mean, I say that, but man, you look at the Switch online store these days, so many just weird indie projects.
Yeah.
Just like Steam.
There's not a whole lot of curation, I think, going on.
I miss a lot of it. Or maybe we just need to let's just get a little better with the AI curation, and then I'll be okay. Help me find... YouTube can help me find good videos and good music. I wish Steam could help me find good games.
Well, I mean, I think... Do you think...
The good games.
Do you think Steam is doing it better than Nintendo? Nintend's marketplace is pretty woeful, I think.
No, I mean, you're not wrong there. Steam, they definitely had a head start.
Well, speaking of which, like Steam, probably this game's launch coinciding with the kind of the gentle up-ramp of Steam's popularity around that time, that probably had something to do with this game's success.
Nintendo didn't want this game on the platform originally. It wasn't until after Rebirth had come out that they renegotiated and it came out on the Switch.
Now that's something. Getting Nintendo to change its mind.
It was religious, under their whatever term.
Boy, getting Nintendo to change its mind on something like that, even.
Exactly.
That is...
When I say this game went mega, it's a big game.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt about that.
God, I don't know what's going on in this Tainted Cane run.
It has something to do with that bag and some crafting recipes, but I really don't know like how this dude is. We're gonna look like a couple of noobs trying to.
Well, a noob with 10,000 hours too. I have not played this game for 10,000 hours, but I have 10,000 logins.
What's the top Chivo, like the actual 100%?
The one that says stop playing.
Stop playing.
It's like 1,001% or something like that.
Do you?
Yes, I have. It's in my achievement showcase on my profile right now.
Okay, gotcha.
However, I haven't investigated if they added new achievements with this newest DLC.
You know, because if they do,
I don't want to play it. Finally, I can tell myself that.
Can you actually? You could actually put the Isaac away.
Yeah, I went back for everyone, but I'm getting to that point where I can just vicariously play games through people.
Hey, you're getting older, man. There you go.
I mean, I play them still, but do I want to invest all I need to 100% this game? Because to be honest, it's really just an OCD tick for me to 100% these things, and I just know it's going to suck me in if I try.
Yeah, well, I think the older you get, the more stuff you've got to split your focus on.
I'm changing history. I'm going to be an old man gamer.
I would like to see that. That would give me hope.
You're going to see it. Just
because going back and playing those old school platformers with the boys, Donkey Kong Country in particular.
They beating you up?
No, not yet. They ain't there yet. They can't take their old man out yet. No. That's not going to be for quite a while longer. But the comparing my performance on the throwback platformers based on how I know we kind of did back then makes me think that something has eroded.
We don't have to switch to this topic. Let's talk about roguelikes.
Oh yeah, man, I love roguelikes. We talking about roguelikes? They should really come up with a new name for that genre.
Like roguelite?
What was the difference between roguelike and roguelite? I never really got the nuance of that discussion.
You know, it's gatekeeping, so the word light minimalizes, the genre because they don't want it tainted by a game that perhaps didn't live up to. I mean, I'm an old bag of bones, but if you want me to start talking about the oldest roguelikes in history, you're going to have a problem.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm probably more equipped to talk about those because I actually played some of them old dungeon crawlers, including a multi-user dungeon, a mud, which, like, I think the most people I ever saw on it at one time was like 20, maybe 20 people. Nan Vant, if there's anyone out there who's played Nan Vant.
What 20 people? Are we talking about Steam? What are you talking about?
Man, we're talking about like some guy running a private server for this particular game that some dude like made in his basement or something.
Oh dear.
But yeah, like so the old roguelikes, dungeon crawlers, because Rogue was That's where we derived the name from. And
Sure.
Rogue was a dungeon crawler. But you know, what this game did differently, you know, what it contributed to the roguelike, I guess, paradigm is the fact that it would evolve over multiple playthroughs, which was not something I don't think that was a feature of the older dungeon crawlers. You know, the older dungeon crawlers, the ASCII graphic dungeon crawlers, like, you know, they weren't games that would throw you a bone if you made it a certain distance. Like, oh, well, we're going to unlock this for you so you're even more powerful. Like, they wouldn't do that. It's just like, well, you're going to get better by learning the game, right? So, like, that thing isn't going to be mysterious next time. That potion you drank that made you explode, well, just don't drink that next time. And there's your progression. But that's not, like, Binding of Isaac, obviously. Items unlock, story tidbits unlock, new bosses, new areas. Like, that was the itch.
Well,
that wasn't getting scratched.
We were talking about why is this game so addictive to play? And we were talking about how, because, you know, Diablo 2 is being remastered. Obviously, everybody knows it. It's one of the best games of all time. And I cannot wait to...
Would you really say that, huh? Would you really say D2?
PC. When I say PC, it's clearly a top 10. But okay, we don't have to get into that.
Okay, we want to go... Yes.
The loot system in Diablo 2 is obviously what everybody plays it for. And... obviously, like most games in that RPG vein and things of that nature, you get the crappy loot first, you play, you finally get the godlike loot at the very end after pumping in so many hours. With roguelikes, though, your first run of Isaac, you bump into mom's knife, you blast through the game. I mean, the chance, the opportunity and chance to get one of the best things is such an enticing idea that you can just get anything mysteriously on the next floor.
I think
it like cuts the loop of waiting for the loot. Oh, it's stapler. I didn't know what that did either.
You think it undermines the Skinner box nature of those?
I think it's an improvement of the Skinner box nature.
But you don't think it's you don't think it's a major deviation. You think it's still Skinner boxy. It's just not so unfairly tilted.
Well, yes. All these video games are going to be dopamine feeds, and you know, Skinner box is a specific thing, but I think, like I said, I think it's better for
I don't think it's Skinner box. Yeah, I don't think it's Skinner box. You see, what I think it is the fact that you could. Boy, what in the world is going on?
This is high level binding theory right here. This is a flow chart you got to follow.
Yeah. I really do think the compelling part of the random item dropping is that the items you get force you to modify the way you approach the game. They force you to modify your strategy. And I think that keeps the game fresh enough that, like, okay, I've got this item combination. Like, I could definitely do this. I'm feeling it. This is going to be the run. It's that feeling you get when this is the run feeling is the feeling that you're looking for, I think, with modern roguelikes. Unless you're just dominating the game, which some people do. But I think there's something there. Because with Diablo, with like your Skinner boxy ARPGs, right?
If I can interject, I was just going to say, I agree, you're right.
Oh, you think that there's...
Yeah, I mean, Diablo 2, you click, and now you do 5 more damage, you click, you know. Obviously, you got spells, but, well, I'm not going to get into the D2 mechanics. You got like 2 spells, but that you're going to use all the time active stuff. Yeah, you're right. I think that makes the game fresh enough, and I guess I never looked at it that way, but that's exactly what this game does to you. My God, there's some items in this game that, for better and many times for worse, change the way you play.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about My Little Planet.
Well, it's what is that cursed eye thing, maybe?
Cursed eye, yeah, everybody thought it was good when they picked it up. This thing's like quad shot. And then,
like, no, not pass.
But you gotta have those items in the game. Well, actually, that's an argument too.
No, yeah, that's... Well, there you go. I have the argument. You think the bad items, the F tier items, the D tier items make this game work better? I think so. Because that's the sense of discovery, right? Okay, that goes back to the old rogues, the old dungeon crawlers.
That's true.
You could pick up a sword that's cursed, right? And now, like, it's a hindrance that if you overcome, makes that run's story even better. That's the same thing going on here.
Plus, you get smarter. You learn something. You didn't do something in the game, but you know for next time. You're smarter. I picked up that turd item, mom's pad. No
Yeah.
thanks.
So there you go. It's like it's a good mixture of both worlds, I suppose, and it doesn't feel like you've got to. Well, I mean, you've invested plenty of time, but you don't have to invest 10,000 hours before you can say like, okay, I've done.
Come fight me. We'll see. Oh, okay.
But maybe that's the. Oh, what would an Isaac?
Yeah, when is the Isaac Battle Royale coming out? Pac-Man was just announced. You see it?
Wait, a Pac-Man. Whoa, like a
Switch exclusive. Pac-Man
oh
Battle
man,
Royale, baby.
they're getting so much mileage on that, like Tetris 99.
I wish I was good at Pac-Man. I'm actually good at Metroid. I'm terrible at Pac-Man.
Did you do the? Did you try the Super Mario Brother, the SMB
Oh,
35?
I played it with the wifey for like 15 minutes. We barely knew what was going on.
Wait, you know what's going on?
Yeah, I was like, I was playing it well, I thought, but
You just don't die.
yeah. Sometimes when I'm playing with the wifey, you know, I don't really look at the manual. I'm just like, let's make the beep boops and the things happen on the screen, so everybody's entertained.
And
So I was just trying to do my best at playing SNB1.
just having trouble figuring out how you don't get the original Super Mario Brothers. Just
Oh, I don't get the battle mechanics, you doofus. It's the
well, there's
integration
nothing to
with
do.
the-
There's nothing to you don't have to do anything with the battle mechanics. Game does it all for you automatically.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. You just gotta.
Eyesore.
You can target other dudes.
No, but I mean, like, in terms of your strategy, like, oh, do I have to get this one up? Because normally when I'm playing, well, I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to waste my time with that.
Oh yeah, you should.
So I don't, do I go fast? Do I need to get a lot of coins? Do I?
And you can figure it out in 10 minutes if you actually wanted to. Well, what was that? Okay.
What is this more eyes? I think Tractor Beam is making it hard to figure out what it's doing. But I like the idea of more eyes. I definitely like the art. Speaking of Macmillan, that's something that is,
Yeah.
I'd say it's hard to not see a Macmillan art style when you put something out. Very recommendable.
You think that's a help or a hint? I mean, obviously it's a help. Like it's carried him this far. You could never say Macmillan's artistic style is something that needs to be modified in any way.
Well, the good news is that it's coupled with a great designer. So this art style can be used in so many different genres. So yeah, it doesn't get old.
It can. I mean, there you go.
And
Yeah,
not that it's like super samey. It's definitely a style though.
like an established. Like you wouldn't say Macmillan is like a pioneer with his art style. Like it's.
I don't know enough about art to even
Yeah,
try to say that, but in the gaming world, I mean, I think it's pretty undeniable that he's made a name for himself.
Yeah, I would say he's carried himself pretty well with the art. Now,
Blood of the Martyr.
I wonder
Just kidding.
if the game's religious symbiology drove its success at all either. I don't think at this point, obviously, it matters. Like this game could be about anything
I
at this
think
point.
it could have. I think it probably helped the launch pad. I think it helped to get off the launch pad just with a little extra oomph. I mean, I dare say this was a controversial game, but in some respects, it was, a bit like that. I know Ed himself, didn't think it was mainstream, obviously because of the style and the content, and he was asking his close friends, like, "Yeah, should I just put this out for free?" And they're like, "No, it's a game, you doofus. Make $1 million trillion with it." which
Yeah,
he did.
boy, it's a good thing he listened to that advice.
He would have jumped on at some point. Anyway,
I will say that I didn't buy the game because of its religious. I mean, obviously,
how bored are you?
like the religious iconography is, it's right there in the game's title, obviously referencing the biblical story. But I will say that yeah, well, it depends on how you. Definitely depends on how you read that story.
That is a glass house business.
Yeah, it's a very difficult story to be sympathetic to, but I think it does have like an interesting message under it that you have to contend with.
No more spikes. That's a cool change.
Hey, I'll take that.
You know how many times I just hold the key going into a room and then kablamo?
I think it's kind of funny though that, well, you know, like Nick Millen's done interviews on this, and he talked about how this game was kind of an expression for him to deal with the cognitive dissonance in his head regarding like the fact that there were positive things he recognized about
Sure.
Christianity, but there were issues he had with, I think, some like family members being born again and stuff. Anyway, like
A lot of his old Flash games reach into some dark parts of the
yeah,
brains,
he's, and you could tell like he's someone who's trying to puzzle it all out with his games. I kind of wish that he had managed to keep that concept in the front of his brain as he developed this game, because I think it's kind of just got lost in all the gaming noise, you know.
Yeah.
It was pretty tight. Like
Well,
it was
yeah.
a pretty tight conceptual loop early on, but like the extra DLCs have pushed the concept, the narrative concept, in favor of the game stuff. Which, you know, argue all day about whether or not that's positive or not. Like obviously,
Well, it's negative for the story. It's positive in basically the other direction. That's how I see it.
yeah, and I'd probably argue the same. I mean, and maybe McMillan is not the one to be really diving into that kind of story anyway. He does seem to. It seems like the designer part of him is the dominant part of him. So maybe he should just be designing games and leave it at that.
Sure. I think there was worthwhile stuff said in the short time that this game left. I mean, we're talking
Sure.
about a game that almost has no dialogue and no cutscenes except for LOL. Check out Isaac's. Oh wait, that's right. You can't say that on YouTube. Never mind. You come to think of it, I don't even think you can say the P word, can we? Can we talk about poop? Who knows? I just ruined
Well,
it.
let's do it. I like poop.
A lot of poop in this game. I mean, I don't like poop.
I like
I like the
getting,
rainbow poop
I like
in this
getting
game.
rid of poop.
Without crying on poop. Okay.
Yeah, this.
No more. He's charmed. Stop looking at him.
It's kind of funky. Like no one's really, even with this game's success. Obviously, people have tried to copy the BOI formula, like on a game level, but no one's even tried to touch the theme. I don't think. You know, it's like no one's even.
It's hard to tackle, which is why I think it was. I mean, it's hard to say that the Binding of Isaac is tasteful, but I guess narratively, I mean, it's obviously biting in many ways, but
It's contextual.
sure, yeah.
It's
And
very
that was probably for the best.
Like it. This is definitely a game that if you don't understand the context, if you don't understand the author's intent and mindset in making it, it will just come off as completely lowbrow, you know. But you know, you got to consider the artist when stuff like this is made. It's like it's the same thing when you're reading a book. You know, I know you love reading. Same thing
I love it.
when you're reading a book. Like, you don't understand the book at all until you understand the person who wrote it. You don't understand a game's concept at all until you understand the designer.
What do I gotta know about J.K. Rowling? I'm trying to wizards, man. They cast spells. That's what I like.
But J.K. Rowling knows her English history apparently, because there's a whole lot of Anyway, but
I haven't read many books. That was the alternate point I was making.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, I don't know what that left one does though, but it's hard to say no to Godhead. That one looks
isn't
really
Godhead
cool.
like one of the last unlockables in the entire game?
It's really, really good. Homing, area of effect, damage up. It's like a cooler Sacred Heart. I don't know what that other one did though. Man.
It's always I mean, you can even really, when you're discussing the theme, just something as subtle as the fact that the Angel Room items tend to be the most powerful items, you know? Like they're among the most powerful items, and you don't have to sacrifice health for them. You know, it's like a unbridled positivity that certainly suggests that McMillan's thoughts behind this game weren't purely cynical, you know, that there was something.
Sure, yeah, I think that's clear. Yeah.
That's
I like the new sprites, by the way, in this DLC. They fixed it. I wouldn't say fixed, but a lot of new sprites for enemies and bosses. And, they look a lot crisper now.
like we're talking about.
I mean, the new sprite for the Angel Room. There's all kinds of new sprites in this thing.
Yeah, this is...
They changed a ton of stuff.
Well,
I've been in there, buddy.
I definitely think this is... I would call this game McMillan's masterpiece.
His opus?
Yeah, this is magnum
His
opus.
opus of Magnus Terra?
McMillan's magnum opus masterpiece. That's what this is. Because I think part of one of the prerequisites for something to qualify as a masterpiece is the master must work on it, you know, over the course of their life. It seems to be...
I bet Ed's got more than 10,000 miles in it.
I would imagine so too. It was at the early stages of this game's development, I just thought, like, okay, is this going to be like a thematic magnum opus? Like, is he really going to explore this theme inside and out? Or is he just going to turn this into the perfect roguelike? And I think it's more latter than former.
I think maybe if he had started with that vision, that might have been the end result, but clearly that's not what he was trying to do when he started.
No.
He wasn't even ready to release it to the public.
Yeah, this...
Price.
McMillan had no idea this game was going to go like this. I'm sure he won't complain, but...
Yeah, I'm ready for eugenics. I'm ready for it. I was excited when it first popped up, and then vanished into...
I can't believe they're really gonna go...
There's obviously there's something there. He's got some kind of hook in that game that he knows can work. So I'm interested to see. I barely remember what even the comparison was. It was something about Pokemon, and then you get a whole bunch of cat.
Yeah, that's like as far as it was. Didn't you have to take care of the cats too? I think it's like you had to collect and take care of them, and then you had to apply them in some way. But no Tommy this time around. Is he
killing your own fetus from your mother? Nintendo said yes to that. They're like, yeah, we'll do it.
I don't think Nintendo would have been on board with the elevator pitch for that one. Like, they definitely needed that to be proven.
I hope that's what Edward opened with. You abort yourself. Can this be on your platform? But I love it's almost meaningless, but small little like connections in the game, like the coat hanger, it makes him cry more, things of that nature. I like those small connections with thematic elements. I don't know. I like these things.
Well, that's the old picture tells 1,000 words. Picture's worth 1,000 words. That's what's going on there. We all know what a coat hanger or a wooden spoon means.
Yeah, and all the dinner and HP ups.
Yeah, like that was the part of the game that really I think snagged me early on. Was what the hell is going on here? Like with this imagery, like the asynchronicity with the way the game presents the items and what the items visually represent. Okay, that's incongruous.
Kind of the whole game.
And it's we see it. I think we see it with some of the enemies, the bosses, obviously his relationship with his mother.
This is a banger, by the way. Cathedral music?
Oh, the cathedral music is some of my favorites. So I think it may be the only track
from Rebirth. Yeah.
I think maybe the only track like I could just remember because I know that there's some Latin being sung in the background. I'm telling you, man.
Latin's the spookiest language.
Hey, man,
that's a fact. What?
As soon as you start speaking in Latin, people take you seriously.
Is that a golden troll bar? That's awesome.
Fighting yourself.
When somebody starts speaking Latin, I'm walking on the other side of the street.
I think maybe one of the reasons why I didn't stick with this game as long as you is it kind of depresses me.
Well, I mean, you have children.
Yeah,
that's a thing. I have a corgi, so it doesn't really ring too true.
Having kids really makes it difficult to digest imagery of like child abuse and stuff like that. It's really, really hard.
It's hard to make a video game about it too.
Well, that's
one of the most popular indie games.
Well, I could certainly applaud McMillan for like taking on something like this in his own way, straight on.
Are we gonna do some Mega Satan?
Who's even beyond Mega Satan now?
I hope there's a real Mega Satan, and that's his title.
Oh, you mean like
Omega Satan.
like in baked under the universe's metaphysics? You hope that there is like there's a Satan who's sitting over the normal
like,
Satan.
Yeah, Hitler went to Magus. He had to go to Mega Satan.
Yeah, he went to mega hell.
Load up on items right before this fight.
Well, you know, you've got your standard Supermax prison, and then you got Alcatraz. So there you go.
That's true.
Like why?
Those 3 guys famously died trying to escaped from Alcatraz.
You know, everyone who was in prison in Alcatraz is just thinking about how to escape Alcatraz.
I mean, it's undeniably, if it weren't for the circumstances, probably a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's like a fun little like, ooh, how could I do this?
It's
like
the
a little raft.
dude. It's the ultimate escape room.
Exactly.
The highest stakes escape room you can imagine. I almost feel like if you escape from Alcatraz, you just have your freedom.
That's true. I usually come away at the end of the story thinking the same thing. Oh, you deserve it.
Like that guy really wanted to be free.
I mean, if you could just apply yourself when you get out.
I mean, Andy Dufresne, he was framed, right?
Yeah.
He was framed. I can't remember.
That's the whole plot of
Yeah,
the
he was
film.
framed. He was framed. But Red wasn't.
No,
But he
Red,
didn't
Red,
escape
Red
either.
killed someone trying to steal a car, if I remember correctly. We're talking about Shawshank Redemption. I know that. I know who Andy Dufresne is.
Andy Dufresne. It's all drink of water.
Andy Dufresne came to Shawshank in 19... I don't know.
It sounded like that.
50-something? Probably 50-something. They were old time, man.
Some people think that's Stephen King's best work. It was a short story.
How can you even... Stephen King has like 900 works.
Yeah, but
Not
they're
even-
all they're all the same. I like Shawshank's good.
They tried to make a video game that was based on the Prison Break show. The co-op one?
Oh
You
yeah.
break out of
Wasn't
prison.
it actually?
Prison Break is a cool concept for a video game.
Yeah, I think so too.
But like, if you could think of like, not like a dumb human one, you know, like, think of like an alien,
Like
like,
an alien.
prison.
They did make that game, didn't they? Wasn't?
Oh, there is a game like that?
Didn't they make what was the? Oh God, the Chronicles of Riddick. Is that his name? No, what is it? The guy Vin Diesel
Vin
played.
Diesel
Yeah,
film?
like I thought one of the games was him like actually escaping from like a prison planet. I can't remember.
That was probably just a backdrop to that.
But I get what you mean.
Third-person platforming. I want an actual. How do I do this?
Like a simulation, like a prison escape
A
simulation.
strategy, puzzle, that kind of thing.
It is a concept that hasn't.
But in like, you know, maybe first or third person, and you're trying to. That'd be fun.
See, I would be down for a game like that.
Let's do it.
Like a prison escape. So many concepts that have been done but not done well enough. They
It's
really
the
should
beauty
be
of
revisited.
interactability in video games. It's so hard to think of it's harder to think of like a unique movie as a film than it is for a unique game concept because you can go in so many different directions.
Yeah, you can. The mechanical nature of it is just it's limitless. You could take any theme and then combine it with almost any mechanic, and it spits out a completely unique product.
Not to mention, I've had some of my most memorable and like fulfilling narrative experiences with video games and even independent video games at that. Not even high production ones.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, you're a big book guy. I can see that. You're gonna have some reluctance there. I see. I mean, that's just building a world though with a book and.
It's tough, man. That's a really tough discussion. I'd like to have that discussion eventually, but
Choose video games.
like which medium tells stories better? I don't know.
I think the ceiling is higher for games. Now, I'm not going to tell you that we've made greater stories than Citizen Kane, but I mean, what is to stopping someone from putting that same kind of narrative punch in a medium where
the question is if you can. The question is if you can reliably take a high concept, apply game mechanics to it, and it retain the concept. That's my issue with Isaac. It's like the original concept was obviously like religious in nature, but man, when you play this game now, it's like, is there anything here that?
But you don't know right off the top of your head, but you know what direction you would have been moving in to fulfill that kind of thing. And this game was obviously circumstantial in terms of just the way it lived on through so many. And not to mention, we were talking about earlier, Repentance is based on a mod called Anti-Birth that people made. Now, I don't know too much about it, but as far as I know, a lot of the ideas, not all of them, maybe not even half of them, but some of them are definitely borrowed from community input. Straight up new stuff. So it's definitely its own weird mishmash of a product, whatever it is.
Okay, so when you go to the crowd for creative input, I think what the crowd gives you is it takes your concept and it hones it. Maybe that's not the best way to put it. It takes the crowd will take your game and it will make it mechanically even better because the crowd is good at stuff like balance. Like they find issues with balance and stuff like that.
And it's a herd coming
in. And the balance and the crowd tends to be pretty good at coming up with ideas to make games more fun, to make games less frustrating. But I would not go to the crowd. I would not source the crowd if I had a narrative concept in my head or a thematic concept in my head and I had to expand on it. I wouldn't go to the crowd for that because
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you showed the crowd a piece of classic art and you told them, like, how could you make that art even better? What the crowd will tell you is, like, here's what you could have done technically to make it better.
Well, you're going to come out with Assassin's Creed. That's what you're doing. That's what happens when you just smooth out a game. Okay, I'm not going to attack.
We're going after Assassin's Creed.
I'm not coming after it. I'm just, these third person. My goodness.
Yeah, that's what. Well, you're right though, because like you get the smoothing out. That's exactly the way to put it. Like you get a smoothed out media experience. The same thing with movies, and that's like my argument with the Pixar movies.
Oh, we are doing Mega Satan. Nice.
Was there anyone beyond Mega Satan? I don't even know anymore.
There is now, I'm sure.
We just go deeper into the ground. Mega Satan sitting under Isaac's house, apparently.
Oh, is he in China?
Went too far. China Satan.
I just watched the Godzilla King Kong. The plot of that film. Holy moly. But anyway,
brilliant.
They're in the center of the earth, and it's not just a molten core.
Oh, well, good. The old hollow Earth theory, man.
It's like a dinosaur land.
Is that a thing? You know why that is. That's a classic literature motif. Oh yeah, man. The journey to the center of the Earth.
Well, you're right.
The characters go down and they find a completely new world that's prehistoric, underground. Yeah.
I thought King Kong was going to punch the lizard. I didn't know.
I'm just here to see the monkey punch the lizard.
He did punch. No, I'm sure we had some heated discussions before we actually started watching the film about who would actually win. And I cannot believe how many people took King Kong's side. It was driving me crazy.
Okay, well, first of all, Godzilla has a projectile.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't. The argument stopped at radiation breath.
Yeah, he can.
Have you seen it? It's like a laser beam.
Kong is not going to sneak up on Godzilla, so
he's smart. Godzilla is not smart.
He's got the reptile brain,
and he's got the tail too, though. The wacky in the tail. Holy moly!
He's got range, man. He's got multiple forms of range.
This is mad Mega Satan. Oh wait, when Hitler talks back to Mega Satan.
This is who comes out.
I hope Hitler doesn't have that confidence down. I hope his school has been broken. Honestly, that's my honest opinion on Hitler. If you needed it,
I hope things aren't going well for Hitler.
I'm gonna stop saying Hitler.
Yeah, it's probably not good for our. Yeah.
Is this a different stage of this fight?
No, I remember this. I think.
This is a new pattern.
This pattern I don't remember. I don't remember this attack pattern.
And this man is not really doing it. This is usually almost dead, so I'm mad for that.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, this is kind of also interesting how this game became more bullet helly.
There's no more hell now. It's gone.
It's good. He beat hell.
And that's the Binding of Isaac Repentance.
There we go. And that's it.
That's the end of there's a freaking YouTube pop-up. All right. Well, that's one in the books. This is obviously a double feature, though. So episode 2, we got Super Metroid coming up. So we're going to take intermission, and then we're going to be back in about 2 minutes.